Of you guys listening, this is the part two of the Bangalore Real Estate Podcast. I had Miss Nandana, and we were speaking about like interesting topics regarding real estate and like different market trends and such. So I was very excited. So there was part two. So I wanted to save the video, and I'm gonna get her over, and we're gonna continue the conversation. Okay, hold up, guys. Yes, I've successfully saved the episode. Usually, what happens is
Congratulations.
there was another episode where I completely lost it at the end, so I didn't want to take chances, right? So, going forward, before I go forward too, I want to like give a shout out to my man Mohit for like referring you for the podcast. Thumbs up, brother. Thank you for this.
Thank you.
Yes. So we were talking about tier two, tier three cities as investors looking around too. Investor wise, I also read there are a lot of NRIs, who are looking to invest from Dubai, from Singapore, and stuff like that. What are your insights? And is this true as far as that's concerned? And people around now they're thinking about buying plots of land. So it's Bangalore is like apparently like the place. Do you see that trend? And something about
So,
NRI investment in and around Bangalore?
so when we talk about NRI investment, so I was getting in touch with NRIs at US
Right,
because because especially when it comes to real estate and at the place that I am in, I was
right.
thinking NRI investors are always a good market when we consider
Yes,
real estate. But
right,
again, for someone who's living outside of their country,
right,
you know because especially there are two things when we need to look at when we look at foreign investment.
right.
If we look at Dubai investment, there may be investors who are settled in Dubai,
Hmm.
maybe looking at investment in India for the appreciation
Opportunities.
value,
Definitely. Yes.
opportunities for business. It's
Yes. Yes.
predominantly a business opportunities.
Yes.
So when again, like how I'm working with NRIs at US,
Hmm.
they may have their families back home here.
Hmm. Hmm.
So they are looking at probably an asset, a security,
Hmm. Yes.
also an investment, but something that's closer to home.
Closer.
Someone from Andhra will not go and invest, in
Yes.
Rajasthan.
Yes.
They won't do
Yes.
that.
Hmm.
Whereas if you're looking at only as an investor
Hmm.
from, who's not an Indian who's settled in other country, for them it may not necessarily matter where they're investing, as long
Hmm.
as, okay, where am I going to get the maximum returns in the
Hmm.
whole
Hmm.
country? I would look
Right.
at it
Right.
that.
Right.
So what we are focusing right now is the NRI markets who has their roots still in Andhra and Karnataka,
Karnataka.
because that is what at this place is more accessible for us.
Hmm. Hmm. And again, with technology and stuff like that, they want to do, like they want to have
Correct.
a virtual tour from there.
Yes.
And also, I read somewhere that they're looking for 360-degree property management. I don't have a complete understanding of what that is. I think it's probably 360 degrees is what it means. Like when they invest, the consultants take care of the entire process and be by their side and make sure the
Yeah.
investment is done. And if they want to construct and rent it out
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Do you see
Correct.
people like looking for such options too?
Yes.
Where they
Yes.
need like some their representation in India to do all this work for them. There is a
Yes.
growing need for that.
Yes. So there's already these services that are in demand in a niche area, because this is a niche area wherein
Yes,
the
yes,
property owner is somewhere else, but taking
yes.
care of the property. Now there is integration of different services coming together that
Hmm.
we see a little higher than before. For example, we are consultants. Yes, we will be with the investor till the agreement goes on.
Hmm.
We look at the property transfer transaction and other things.
Right.
Now when we're talking about NRI clients or a foreign investor who doesn't have a representation in this specific area, what do
Hmm.
we do?
Hmm.
And this they might have invested here because of the price or whatever reason.
Right.
The
Right.
next step, this becomes the next step. So
Hmm.
what a lot of companies now started to do is expand their own business in different verticals, or
Right. Right.
collaborate with different businesses and
Right.
represent as same business,
Hmm.
so that the customer at the end of the day has all these services available.
Right. Right.
I'm not even talking about generic market. I'm talking even from personal experience, because this
Right.
is the need. Because the moment when we talk about NRI customer or a, an end user probably living somewhere else, these are the things that would by default need to be looked at.
Right.
Yeah.
So you did touch upon a bit as an investor. How do you look for growing spaces? Like, do you want to get into a bit? I want to just ask in general, right? How do you get around and about Bangalore, right? You want to just as an investor, you want to see the place, you want to see like the possible future trend and future growth. What is Ms. Nandana looking out for if she was there, probably, right? What is she trying to assess, like upcoming structures, upcoming hospitals, or like what kind of an eye should one keep so that they can assess the future growth? Because obviously when you're there you can't like really see the growth, but like a trained eye, right, in the real estate market can see that. What are you looking out for?
Okay, so for all of us, if I am an investor, first I need to understand what is the purpose of this investment. Yes, I'm investing on the property, but what is the goal at the end of the day? Am I investing for to have some security, later on, because this area might have potential. Okay, this will be a security. Am I investing on, okay, if I invest 1 crore, I need to get recurrent income. Am I looking for rentals? So monthly there is some security. Or am I looking for, okay, I'll take this agriculture land now. 5 to 6 years down the line, there might be developments and I can develop.
Definitely, exactly.
Into something. So there are different kinds of motivations behind why we are investing on a property.
Definitely.
So now going by examples, for example, if you have this, airport road. There's a lot of developments in that area because why? We have accessibility to airport.
Yes.
And then there could be a lot of commercial spaces and developments.
Like
exactly.
There
are a lot of layouts.
I wanted to get into the early part where before you even understand like the growth, like exactly like you see small, see small developments. How do you call that, right? Exactly, right. How do you see these small developments and certain builders started projects there? You're looking for some signs like that, right?
Yes. We have to see real estate at the end of the day. Okay, we are investing on land.
Yes.
We're investing on land. And if I am looking at it as an asset, on what basis the value of the land would increase?
Yes.
What are the highlights for me as an investor also? Because usually the developer will promote the highlights.
Yes.
But for me as an investor,
what
I should be aware rather than hearing it from 1 or 2 developers, because we need to be well informed. Why am I investing?
I have to do our own research.
Correct. You have the airport. So what comes with airport? There will be a lot of traffic that comes with airport. There will be a lot of commercial developments. You have hotels, restaurants, activity,
definitely malls,
recreation activities, malls. Okay, when you have all that, why not the people working there? They need residential spaces. Okay, there is going to be residential development for people working there.
Yes, exactly.
So all these things automatically, one by one, you need to have. And when we talk about residential spaces are there, where would the kids go to school? Okay, there might be possibility of schools
popular. Yes.
And then hospitals. These are the basic necessities.
Yes.
That by default we will develop because of one specific solid
need, cause,
highlight,
yes,
landmark.
Yes.
Yes. So when I'm considering, okay, probably investing in this strip, airport road, I need to be clear. Am I investing on, again, the motivation of why I am investing? Am I investing for only the land value for it to increase? Am I investing to develop it in future? Because every investor will have their motivation.
Right.
Because when you're investing, in fact, lakhs and crores of rupees, we know. So we need to be clear in terms of, okay, this is why
our intent
I want
and
to
our
invest.
need.
And correct. And then it becomes easier to either
assess.
Is it something that fits my requirement or is I just wasting my time here?
Wasting my time, because that's the most important thing, right? You're looking at like the length of your investment. As with any investment which goes, right, you want to have like a time You want to understand like the time that you're available to, and the money that you're ready to risk with the length of the time available, and looking at the growth you want to like invest, right? Whether it be for a
Correct.
house
And
or
it's
for other
also,
commercial
yeah,
properties. Yes.
it's
Yes.
also an exercise to mitigate risk, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yes, of course, I may have a consultant giving me the advice,
Huh.
but on what basis is this consultant giving me that advice? So your real estate consultant also have to be in par. There should be congruency that why
Yes.
are we looking for a specific property?
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't speak about the north part. Since we just like spoke a bit about it, what are your thoughts? As we already know, I probably 10 years ago, I was well versed with understanding because I went to college near Yelahanka and stuff like that. So I, through my own eyes, I saw, I understood like the north developing right through my eyes. Right before it was like open plots, open land, and now slowly you can see all these projects coming up, and it's unbelievable. Especially near Sakar Nagar and stuff like that, it was unbelievable. What are your thoughts? Complete the north side after Hebbal, basically, right?
Yeah, you have like Hennur Airport, like the whole
Yes.
strip.
Yes.
I mean, you name the developer, all the bigger players in the field.
Yeah.
Everyone has their project launched there.
In north, right?
Why would they launch?
Yes,
now,
exactly.
when they spend crores of rupees to launch a project, like how we discussed, there are other things that comes into picture when we are talking about launching a residential project. You see a lot of commercial activities that are proposed, the road expansions that take place. And when we talk about airport, there is more scope for investments coming outside from Bangalore.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Because for someone, okay, we're not even going out of country. For someone from Mumbai, an investor from Mumbai wants to invest in Bangalore. So they may, in fact, look at surrounding areas towards
of the airport. Right.
Correct.
So it's easier.
Yes. So when you have that accessibility, as you mentioned much earlier, the accessibility and the connectivity becomes the key.
Right.
To in fact determine where the development can, the locations in which the development can take place.
Right. So Mr. Umar has a question. Yeah. Please continue.
Yeah. So not as you said, it's been happening from last few years because a lot of projects got launched.
A lot of projects.
Yeah. Yes. From the time I've come into the business, I've seen a lot of projects getting
launched. So Mr. Now, Umar, continue. Yes, ma'am. Continue your thought.
It's the same thing.
No problem.
I think how you've seen with your eyes, I've seen after I got into the business.
Sure, definitely. So, right, Mr. Umar has a question. He says, my office is near Whitefield. Which area will be the best near Whitefield for investment? Do you have anything to say to him?
Yes. If you're considering Whitefield and you're looking at investment, I'm guessing it could be something investment on land, be it a site or a land.
Right. He's looking for space basically in and around Whitefield. So any smaller pockets near Whitefield which isn't appreciated or where he can like get a space. I think that's what he's asking.
Okay. If he's looking at, I mean, there are two things that we can see from it. If he's looking for office space, because I think he's
not office space. He says his office is there.
Office
is near Whitefield. Yes. Which area will be the best? Probably to stay, rent, or to buy?
Yes. I'll talk from investment point of view. So if you have to buy, so what are the connectivity areas to Whitefield? If you look at Whitefield, we have KR-Puram, we have Malur Hosur Road, we have Sarjapura. So these things, because now Hoodi, Whitefield, they are also the developments have happened. Yeah.
Yes, it's been booming.
It's been booming. It's been booming from past few years. It's already
definitely.
You can consider it as that. So if you're looking at investment, always keep 15 kilometers radius is what I say. Because we may think, okay, I'm in Whitefield. I want to be closer to Whitefield. So I want to invest somewhere, probably 5 kilometers within Whitefield. But when we actually consider, okay, the travel time, when we think of, okay, I'm investing convenience and other things, there are a lot of areas within 15 kilometers. In fact, you can reach the exact place within 20 to 30 minutes rather than being in Whitefield and coming to the other end of Whitefield.
Right.
So I would recommend, you have Malur Road it's going to develop because of STRR.
Okay, so Satellite Ring Road.
Again, I'm keeping 2 to 3 years down the line. You have to
definitely
for any investment, 2 to 3 years down the line. And I would, this is the right time, I feel, in fact, to invest on land. Because if we can identify, there are many projects in these locations which was earlier outskirts, but now they're almost
it's part of the city
part of city now.
Definitely.
So it's a matter of identifying a little bit of personal research, and in your own community you would understand. Because is it coming, am I going to get this property for the competitive pricing? And when I add all the external factors like this, I would be able to assess in 3 to 5 years how is it going to be.
Exactly.
So if you're looking for investment, like pockets like Whitefield or KR Puram, these areas, keep 15 kilometers radius and then invest.
And it's a good idea. So I think you also mean to say it's a good idea to just actually, like get one of your weekends on a Sunday, probably Saturday, just like for the sake of real estate, just go around in and around where you stay and just do like a research by yourself with the recommendations that you've gotten from here. Yeah, Mr. Umar.
And also, as you said, now we can use technology also, because we don't have to actually see each and everything by stepping out. We have a lot of reviews, and we have a lot of videos to understand how it would look.
Right.
And then if it fits, then go for a visit.
Right. So I have, I think we're almost wrapping up. I have another question, which is about lead generation, and I understand digital marketing and stuff. What are your thoughts on like the digital aspect, since we just got into a bit of that? So I'm concerned about leads and lead generation and online leads management and stuff. How are you managing your leads, and where are you, like how are you looking at it, Ms. Nandana?
So you're talking about our business now. Okay.
Yes.
yes. So yes. So in fact, just like how the market is shifting, our way of generating leads, or how we look at our prospective customers, has also, I would say, has become broader, and at the same time has become very focused. For example, like we may have had 5 site visits in a week before. Now it could be 2 or 3, but among them 2 or 3 might be comparatively serious buyers than those 5 buyers. So that's the generic trend we are seeing. There is, of course, decline in visits. So what we are doing is, since we know a lot of our prospective customers, earlier they would be our prospective customers, but right now they are not even in the city.
Yes.
So what do? So it's not about, he's no more in the city, probably just leave it. No, it's not that. He may have plans, probably 1 year down the line. So when we talk about real estate, we don't consider, how much did we make in 1 month? We have to always look at the average of an year.
Yes.
Because real estate, even from the customer point of view, it is a longer process. You know, to do the due diligence, we may have our lead, we may have a touch base with a client today, but probably after 6 months is when we may actually meet the client, saying that they are interested. So it becomes important for us to maintain a relationship with the customer. Because just because they say they're not interested right now, or they're not in the city, doesn't mean that let's
they wouldn't be right.
Yes.
Right.
So we need to have a lot of patience. What I say.
And you guys are running. Also, you guys are running ads on Facebook and on the internet, Instagram and stuff like that.
We have in fact taken few packages also, like with respect to digital marketing, and also when you have a marketing company, like ours is predominantly it's a marketing company also. So we work with multiple projects. So for few projects we need to work with portals like Magic Bricks or 99 Acres.
Yes.
And things like that. because out of 100 leads that we get, probably one or two get
One or
converted.
two will be a prospect,
Yes.
right?
This is a regular exercise that
Regular exercise. So on like a personal basis, like what I used to do was I used to run ads back 2017, 18 and stuff like that, right? That was the time where nobody actually advertised for it, like real estate on the internet, right? So from my personal experience, when I used to just run ads, that was the time when I was learning basically about digital marketing and stuff like that. I used to run ads on the internet, and it was very, very cheap. I don't think you'd I don't think you could see, because like right now every developer is running ads on Facebook, every developer is running ads. It sort of like, it was like a big shift for me, because back then there were not many people who were actually running ads on Facebook, on Instagram and stuff like that, right? So now to look back, what happened was, specifically there was a trend where if you observe within the city, they started pulling down all the advertising boards. They stopped at one particular time. BBMP stopped allowing to advertise. Yes. So I definitely understood there was like a small point that was like an inflection point for everybody advertising. They do advertise on newspapers and radio and stuff like that, but they fundamentally moved to the internet. And I saw like the budget that I used to spend was like if I'd had to spend the same amount now, competing with all the people who are running ads, it's nothing compared to that. So like that was like a small point that I'd like to tell. It's way different than what it was like a couple of years ago. And the ads are a bit pricier, but that being said, the customer and everybody who wants to buy a piece of land and stuff like that are online, right? And that's the whole reason I put up like a place like this where we can have active conversations, and somebody who don't understand something, probably who wouldn't have an idea of like what's happening, right, regarding real estate. If you open up active conversations like this, people from around the world or anywhere who's interested in the Bangalore real estate scene can see and like look at people who are working like yourself in the field, and so that they understand and they have an idea of what is happening, and they can keep be on in the trend. That's the whole reason I start off the question. What was your understanding of podcasts, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
I think it's wonderful what you are doing, because not everyone, even including me, if I'm not a real estate consultant, why would I go and read articles? Unless it's something that I heard.
Exactly.
Something that easily catches my attention. Why would I do that? So this is a much accessible way. And since everybody is online, nobody reads newspapers as far as I'm concerned too, right? So if everybody is, let me bring the newspaper onto Instagram and stuff like that, right? We covered every topic. I just want to talk about warehousing, and then we'll finish off because I didn't touch points with that. Like you just did said you saw a growing trend of warehousing, and if I want to say something like a lot of companies are going online, right? I think there is a need for people who are like, who want warehousing solutions where they don't have to necessarily keep a retail space and like fill it up, versus third party warehouses or their own warehouses. So I think, do you think there is a possibility where the Tumkur road stretch, there's a lot of people who are like going for warehousing spaces, and since it's a nice road into the Bangalore city, right? Tumkur leads right into Bangalore, right? Do you think that's how the lot of warehousing solutions are coming near Tumkur? Yes, exactly the way you said it, because you don't necessarily need a space to sell your product. Like you don't need a retail space to sell your product, but you of course need a space to
deliver it within a certain amount of
products,
time. Yes, right.
So what is the best way to do that is go for like logistics, like again warehousing. So have the space there. It works out for the company also, cost wise.
Yes.
It's also connected to the deliveries also becomes very convenient because it's accessible to the city. And as an investor also, this is something because it's not going to come back. Like it's from now onward, it's only going to grow. The online setup is only going to grow.
Exactly. E-commerce is building, as we all know. Right.
Yes. It's only one-way trajectory. It's not going to go back to online is also going to be there. This will also This will be there, but online is going to grow.
Online, and with the pandemic, it's pushed everything online. Like companies like Big Basket and all that stuff. Like really having a lot of orders there. That literally, I think when May 22nd, right, when all of this went down, right, like their the entire website like stalled. It broke down because of the orders and
Yes.
stuff like that. So they had an imminent need for like e-commerce, and that showed like there was an indicator as to like probably we'll have a lot of like e-commerce and all that's coming in. So it did make sense. And this the Tumkur warehousing thing where you were talking about was actually very recent, actually, right? 2 years, 3 years probably, right?
Yeah.
And in 2 to 3 years, there was you could see like a lot of warehousing places. And as in, if you look at it as an investor too, you can buy land, you can just set up like a basic infrastructure which doesn't need much for warehousing solutions, and you can probably give it out to a third party who will take care of all the logistics and all that stuff. In terms of that, that seems pretty viable too, right?
Yeah. And these are investors who would want, I mean, you would get recurrent income. It's
Exactly.
Yes, you're investing on land, but you're also getting rental income from companies.
Rental income. Yes.
Yes.
And the investment is not like, it's not a brick and mortar, so it's huge, but like, yes, versus the brick and mortar, it's different, right? You need to invest in all the moving cranes and all the mechanized stuff, right? Yes, I think that was a great conversation. It was a lengthy one, but like I feel it was like a true value to anybody who's listening to the podcast, like to understand more about real estate. And thank you for coming over. It's been my pleasure for interviewing you. Big props for you to coming over and being like gracious enough to say yes and coming over for the podcast. Thank you, Ms. Nandana.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm just glad that you're doing a great job, man. Like, we talk about real estate and then
yes, about everything.
Real estate, but then yes, and it's a great platform for anybody who may not necessarily be looking to buy something, but
yes, just keep in the trend and understand, right?
Correct, because real estate is something that we are inevitably connected to.
Yes.
At the end of the day,
yes.
we would be even are we renting a space, are we buying something?
Yes,
it's real estate.
You would want to know something which is happening in and around without you doing your research. We'll do the research, we'll talk, let others listen. That's what I thought, right?
Correct. Done.
That's great.
Thank you so much for this. Yeah.
Thank you for coming over. It's been a pleasure. See you guys. Take care. Good night, man.
Thank you everyone for staying back till now.
Yes. See you. Bye-bye.